Good evening, everybody. It's that time of year again. We're out here at the golfing class. Well, maybe besides the Masters, but it's Ryder Cup captain's picks this week. They're coming out tomorrow. We got our picks, so let's dive right into it. On the Tavern. Yeah, this is going well.
Yeah.
I think. How's everybody doing tonight?
We all sound a lot better than you.
This is terrible. My internet went out, and I'm running off of a cell phone right now. So it's going to be interesting tonight. I'll probably be in and out, doing my best because I want to talk Ryder Cup and everything that's coming up here. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. How's everybody's weekend?
Busy.
Yeah, you had a busy weekend.
Yeah, I've had a busy weekend.
Yeah.
So.
I watched Fantastic
That's
Four.
fun
That was
weekend.
as Jackson said, fantastic.
Was it? I've heard mixed reviews.
Okay. He takes one trip to Ireland, and now we can't get him to put down the Guinness.
I mean, is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Fantastic Four is actually really good. I actually really enjoyed it. So it was a good movie. And I watched some golf. What's up, Ush? What's up, Brad? How are you guys?
All right, hold on, Brad. I'll just get it out of the way now. Yep.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I didn't play any golf, but it was still a good weekend and had some fun. So this weekend, Saturday morning, don't call me, don't text me. I'm not going to respond to anything. I'm just going to let everybody know this, so that I will be watching the last headgear selection on College Game Day.
3-1. I get a call from Steve before he makes his pick.
I mean,
yeah, that's about right.
We all know who he's going to pick this week. He's going to pick his first love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got to go with.
He's got to pick Brutus, like he does. So you know what? I will say this. I'd like to thank Coach Corso for what he's brought to College Game Day. I know I have enjoyed watching it with him on there. It's one of the reasons I turned it on in the morning. And I will definitely miss him on College Game Day. So, Coach, this one's for you. Cheers. So
yeah, he'll be truly missed.
Let's I mean, we've recapped our weekend. This was a pretty busy weekend. I think we're gonna have a pretty busy show tonight. So why don't we go ahead and hop into first round and go over Tour Championship.
Steve, run it.
Got it. Which one?
Are you always looking for a safe and accessible place to store your phone in your cart during a round of golf? Well, our friends at Desert Fox Golf have the perfect solution, the Desert Fox Phone Caddy. Just strap it to the cart window frame and you're all set. Also worried that you will miss your favorite podcast, The Golfing Dad's Tavern? They have a solution for that as well. Just add their DJ 10 speaker so you don't have to miss a minute of our show. Find these great products and more at desertfoxgolf.com.
All right, Dave.
Yep.
Greg is having some technical difficulties. Greg's internet went out, so looks like it might be you and I for a while. Did you let's start with Tour Championship this week. Yeah.
Go ahead, say it.
Drink. Finally, I feel like it's The Rock entering the stage and saying finally, Tommy Fleetwood has won. I feel like that actually happened this weekend. I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Tommy Fleetwood. I think finally getting across that hurdle. Let me ask both of you while you're here, Greg. Is this going to be a run like David Duval, do we think, for Tommy Fleetwood? Or do you think this is his struggles of getting across the finish line will continue? Dave?
I'm going to take a different analogy than Duval. This Tommy Fleetwood for this is like Phil winning the Masters. And it kickstarted Phil pretty well there in majors. Phil had quite a few wins under his belt. Tommy this year, he had 8 top 10s. This year he's had over $33 million. I just think it gets that monkey off of his back. And I think we got plenty of time for him to contend. He's only 34. So I think that I think next year we see at least 1, if not 2 wins out of Tommy next year.
Okay. I actually think you're not far off there. I think 2 to 3. I think this is going to springboard him to arguably again, getting the first one and getting across the finish line on the first one is always difficult. So when you get the first one out of the way, I really think that you're going to see more down the line from him. That being said, what did you think about the new format?
I know there's been a lot of back and forth. Greg and I had a discussion about this last week, so go back, see our show from last week. If you're going to have, a race for the cup and have all these point standings, then have them mean something. This is, I equate it. I'm a NASCAR fan. I enjoy watching cars turn left. Road races don't count because those are horrible. But, you've seen guys, with consistent top 5, top 10s without a win during the year that have won the NASCAR Cup Championship. And, if that's what it's going to be, call it what it is, but don't advertise it all season long like it's the race for the cup and signature event means more points. And at the end of the day, million points don't matter unless you finished first in the last one. It only got you, like Rory missed the first event. Rory and Scotty could have skipped the first 2 events and done absolutely nothing and went and played in the third event. So if you're going to have points, have them mean something. This isn't whose line for it is it anyway.
I think that the tour needs to do a few things differently. I do think that if you want to become like, I'm going to use hockey as an example with the Stanley Cup and having the playoffs. I think they struggled when they went to the playoff structure like they've done at determining a playoff, if that makes sense. I think they need to figure out and come up with a better structure for playoffs, regular season, crowning a regular season champion, and then playoffs. And I don't think they've really looked at doing that. And I think that is one of the things they've struggled with, because they went from the season-long race for the FedEx Cup to the FedEx Cup. And if you want to do to me, if you want to go ahead and call it a playoff, then I think you need to change the structure. I will say this. I think that Brian Roloff did a great job last week talking about simplifying things in there. In one of those.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of a draft right now too.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it was something because that is the ESPN alert. I think that if you maybe started week 1, you still keep 70 guys, but the cut doesn't come at 70. It doesn't go off the FedEx Cup rankings. It goes off of the top 50 from the first week. So you need to finish in the top 50 and then go to the top 30 that finish the next week and make it more of a playoff style event where you're forcing the guys to show up. I also think they need to do a trophy for the season long champion. I know they have the Comcast, whatever it is, at the end of the season. The reason nobody knows what it is that they don't highlight it enough. And I think they struggle with that. And I think they need to do a better job of that.
And, it's one thing that, us as, golf media and everything else, we sit here, we understand those things, but it's the average person that has tuned in to watch, that used to just tune in to watch Tiger. They, let's simplify what all this means so people will tune in and watch, this 3-horse race or this 3 tournament race at the end of the season. So, do we go to a match play style event over the course of the last 3 and, make the championship a 36-hole event? Who's to say? But I think as they toy with the idea that they need to do a little bit something different to, either make those points matter or just say, okay, end of the regular season, Scotty's, the champion. He's accrued this many points. He is your season champion. Now let's move on to the playoffs for the FedEx Cup winner.
I don't like the idea of match play, and I don't think anybody in TV does. We've seen match play and what it does, and come that final round of match play where you have 2 or maybe 4 guys and the second match doesn't really count for anything on the golf course. I think that match play is a terrible idea from a TV standpoint, but I also think they got to do something different. And I'm hoping that this future competition committee
score so well.
Because you have more than one match on the golf course at a time. I'm not arguing match play. I'm arguing the number of people on the golf course in the downtime in between golf shots. And especially on Sunday at the Ryder Cup when you're mano a mano and you have 12 matches on the golf course and it builds throughout the day and the anticipation of it building is great. If you're sending 2 guys off, nobody's going to freaking pay attention because it's too much downtime and too slow. You've got a bunch of talking heads. Not saying there's a problem with talking heads because that's what we really realistically we are. But I feel like if you're going to look at if you want to do match play over the course of a tournament, when you get to Sunday and you have, I'm not arguing that the Ryder Cup doesn't do well. The Ryder Cup does great, but on Sunday you have 12 singles matches.
Right.
So there's excitement.
But is it a worse idea than what they currently have now?
I think from a TV standpoint, yes.
Well,
from a TV standpoint, because
at the
end of the day,
drives the almighty dollar. Yeah.
Right, correct. Because where are you going to make money from? TV. You don't make money on ticket sales. You make money on advertising dollars. You make money on people wanting to your TV revenue. You don't make money on what are on 2 guys being on a golf course and you're just showing a bunch of commercials. Because what's the biggest complaint when golf is on TV is there's too many commercials, and that's all 2 guys on the golf course playing match play is going to be. So
I get you.
So yeah, I think that it's when you look at where do we go, what do we do now with this? I there are some options out there. I do think that I'm hoping that with this future competition committee, Theo Epstein can do things like he did with baseball and bringing the pitch clock in because that was his idea and speeding up the game.
Yeah.
After watching Patrick Cantley shuffle 26 times before he hit a golf shot.
Could you just imagine a guy standing off to the side of Cantley holding a clock as it counts down? Rather than a walking score, you have a walking. Here's
the problem. I don't necessarily, and I'm going to say this. I don't necessarily agree with the shot clock. I don't. And the reason I don't necessarily agree with the shot clock is I feel like it just is going to be. I don't mind it on TGL because it is what it is on TGL, and I feel like TGL needs a shot clock. In a regular event, all of a sudden, if the wind changes and you're in the middle of it and you got to back off, like there needs to be some leeway on that. So I don't necessarily agree with the shot clock idea, but I do think that they need to do something about pace of play. And I think the pace of play doesn't need to happen if you're out of position. I think pace of play needs to be started on the first tee and keeping people in position. I think they need to be more proactive on pace of play than they do reactive.
I'm not gonna argue that, at all. I think it wasn't the perfect system. No. Is it better than what they had before? Maybe, maybe not. But I think, they take.
If you look at it, Scotty was a big proponent of the changes that were made. However, if they didn't change it, Scotty would have won by 1 over Fleetwood.
By 1, yeah.
By 1. He would have been 24 under. Tommy would have been 23 under. So,
yeah.
I don't know that there's a perfect scenario on this. I do think, and I kind of agree with what Rory said last week, I do think that you need to have, if you win 5 events over the course of the year, including a playoff event, starting at 0 and just having a winner-take-all event, it doesn't feel right. It really doesn't. But that's just me. So, well, let's there's a cutoff that's happened and a small event that's happening in a month. So let's why don't we hop into happy hour and let's see where we go here.
Yeah.
So, Dave.
Yep.
The 6 picks are in or locked.
Mm-hmm.
For both teams, the six automatics. Tomorrow we learn the fate of the 6 captains picks for the Americans.
Yep.
Monday we learn the pick of the 6 captains picks for Team Europe.
Can we just get Team Europe out of the way?
Yeah, that's where I was.
That's
just what I was going to say, because I feel like we're all in agreement on this.
Yeah.
Dave, read me your picks that are going to be the locks, that are going to be the captain's picks for Europe, and then if there's any difference, we'll argue them. But I have a funny feeling that we're going to agree all 6 of them.
It's just for me. It's the next 7 through 11. Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka, Ludwig, Victor, Matt Fitzpatrick, and then you take John Rahm.
Correct. So
yes,
we both agree on that. So that leaves them. That brings the European team back with 11 returning players from the last Ryder Cup.
Correct.
Now there's going to be a debate.
Yes. So
I think we need. I almost want to just and let's read off Greg's. You want me to do it, or you want to do it?
Yeah, I got it. So
read off
Greg
Greg's
right now.
Greg's picks. Yeah.
Yep. So Greg is taking JT, Sam Burns, Ben Griffith, Maverick McNeely, Cam Young. And he's got a caveat here. He thinks Keegan's gonna pick himself, but he does. But if Keegan doesn't, he's taking Chris Goddard as his number 12.
So, okay. So, read those again so I can just check off who mine. You said JT, right?
JT.
Ben Griffin, you said, right?
And Sam Burns.
Sam Burns, yep.
Maverick McNeely.
And you said Cam Young, right?
Cam Young.
Okay.
And then he has Chris Goddard as the last pick if Keegan doesn't pick himself.
So who do you have?
So I said it last week. My locks were JT, Ben Griffith, and Keegan Bradley were my 3 locks.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Cam Young right now. He's been putting the ball really well. He had 7 top 10s this year, including a win. So I take Cam Young over Maverick McNeely. I'm leaving Maverick McNeely out.
Okay.
I'm going to take Morikawa. And I hate to say it. I hate myself for saying this. I'm taking Patrick Cantlay.
Okay. Interesting.
Those are my 6.
Interesting that you shied away from the one guy that came out on Nuclear Golf yesterday and Sam Burns that you did not add to your team, who I think is an automatic lock for this team at this point.
Yeah.
I
had him. I still think Cantlay. Sam Burns may be the automatic, whatever they're reporting. I went back and forth on that, and I think just because of Cantlay's experience in the Ryder Cup, he's I believe 5-4-2 or 5-4-1, and really you pair him with Schauffele, and just forget about everything else.
Schauffele scares me. He hasn't played well all year. Yet he qualified because of his 2 majors last year. I think Schauffele is a liability. I also Cantlay hasn't won, and I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say this. I think Cantlay might be the most overrated player on the PGA Tour. I mean, how many times you guys are like, oh, Cantlay's gonna win a major, Cantlay's gonna do this, Cantlay's gonna do that. Dude hasn't won in 3 years. I think he's a lot of hype and doesn't know how to close. And so for me, when I looked at this team and I looked at the guys that I wanted to take to battle, I wanted to take guys who knew how to win. Right. And won in the last 12 months. So I took JT because I think you need him. You need his leadership. You need his poise. You need what he's done in the past for Ryder Cup. I took Ben Griffin, 10 top 10s this year. Wins, including a team event, so knows how to play team golf. So Ben got a lock on that. I took Sam Burns, partly because of Nuclear Golf's reporting yesterday. Today, somebody also reported today that Keegan was picking himself automatically. So I had Keegan as a lock anyway. I think Keegan is one of the 12 best players on the American side right now. So I think he's got to take him anyway. I don't know that I really like the idea of him being a playing captain. But I also feel like I don't know who else I would want to hit the opening tee shot on Friday morning. I have Cam Young. Cam Young over the last month has been playing some exceptional golf. And I think 2 years ago, I was the one that was very vocal against Cam Young. I felt like he needed to really improve his putting. I felt like he struggled with the putter. I think getting this win and getting the confidence he's built, and I've watched him putt, and you've seen him more on TV, and he's made a bunch more putts. I'm going to go ahead and take Cam Young at this point. I think he's going to be a huge asset, especially with his length. I feel like at this point, knowing that Keegan and Sam are already on the team, basically is what the media is reporting. There's 2 guys for 1 spot.
Yep.
And I
Are
feel
you taking Morikawa or Novak?
Nope, I'm not taking either of them. I feel like it's either Rick or Chris Gotterup. And I'm going to go with Chris Gotterup because he's won more recently. He also stared down Rory McIlroy in Scotland, mano a mano, and won.
Yep.
So obviously there's the no fear factor when you're playing against Rory in Scotland and you're in the final pairing with him. And I also feel like, along with Keegan, being a local guy to the Northeast, being a guy from New Jersey, and with it being on Long Island, I feel like is a great pick. Because I feel like
I'm not going to argue that pick at all. I'm really not. I just kind of went Cantlay as that last pick for, previous Ryder Cup experience. And, I saw a report earlier that, imagine if you paired Brian Harman and Patrick Cantlay together, the Europeans may just walk off the course because it would take too long.
It's not a valid point. It's a valid take. I mean, let's just be real about that. Now, I'm going to say this. Do I think Colin Morikawa is going to get picked? I do. I also think
he's got some of the best iron play outside of Scotty.
Yeah, he's 128th in strokes gained putting. And at the end of the day, I don't need another Bernhard Langer collapse missing a 6-foot putt on the last hole for us to lose the Ryder Cup, because I feel like that's
Correct.
what's going to happen if we take Colin Morikawa. It's going to come down to him, and he's 128th in strokes gained putting.
Correct.
I also, again, like I said earlier, I went on guys who've won and won recently. So when I look at guys that are crossing the finish line and guys that are getting that W, Cantley hasn't won in 3 years. Morikawa hasn't won in 2 years. And Morikawa, when you look at all of his big wins, they came with not a
very
large
limited
amount of
field.
fans.
Yeah.
No, not field, fans.
Well, the COVID, yeah.
He won during COVID. So do we trust that he can play with a huge gap? Like, I've got issues on that with him. And yes, I'm not going to argue, Dave, your point. He's one of the most exceptional long iron players in the entire planet. He's an unbelievable long iron player. Probably one of the best ball strikers on the planet. But the problem is, at this point, what's it come down to at the Ryder Cup? It comes down to making putts. And I just don't trust Colin Morikawa to make putts. And the 128th in strokes gained putting. And, oh, yeah, here's the other funny part. He pissed off the golf gods earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, pissed off the golf gods bad. Like, and pissed him off at Arnold's place.
Yeah.
Like, didn't talk to the media and then doubled down the following week. I'm sorry, but I feel like at the end of the day, if you're going to piss off the golf gods, one, you don't do it to Arnold. You don't. Everybody knows that. And I just feel like I don't know that he really deserves to be there. Again, win. Show me you can win. Show me you can close the deal. Because I want guys that are winners. I want guys that know how to put the throat, put that foot on the throat and go. Like, I want to see somebody win 9 and 8. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see that Tiger Stephen Ames match where we just go out there and beat some butt. And I look over at the European team who's returning 11 starters, 11 Ryder Cup players from the last team, where they embarrassed us in Italy.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it wasn't even close.
Here, my take on Morikawa, and, I've picked him quite a few times this year, but you pair him an alternate shot, you get somebody, off the tee, and he's the second shot, vice versa. He doesn't have to putt that much an alternate shot if it comes down to it.
You still have to rely on him on Sunday. And at some point of this group,
you have to. I'm hoping for a big lead on Sunday, and he's the 12th man out.
When you look at this group, Keegan's going to have to play 18 a day, so you already know that.
Yep.
I don't think you see Xander more than 18 a day. I really don't. He hasn't played well. He's not in form.
Scotty plays twice. JJ plays twice.
Yep.
JJ plays twice. I think Justin Thomas plays twice.
I don't know that JJ plays twice. I'm still trying to figure out who you pair him with.
I think Bryson plays twice.
Oh, I would agree with Bryson playing twice. I would 100% agree with Bryson playing twice, because I feel like Bryson, with the driver as a weapon, Bryson plays twice a day.
Yep.
And I almost wonder, like, I think about pairings and who I want to see with guys. You're going to see Sam Burns and Scotty go out there and play together, as much as I don't want to see that, because that didn't work out great the last time. I wonder if you pair Russell and Henley. To me, is a wild card. I'd like to see Russell and Scotty play together. I feel like that would be a really good pairing, but I also wonder,
who do you put Harris English with then?
Well, who I put Harris English with?
When it came down to my picks, I'm looking at the top. I'm looking at the top 6, and where do some of these other guys fall? And you're right, Goddard, going head to head, being a local guy, he's almost he was my one on the outside looking in. I'd love to take him. I really would. I kind of went with experience, over that, and that may bite me when picks come out tomorrow. And It's not a sword I'm willing to die. Cam Young, yeah, give me Cam Young. I'll
Not arguing that
I'll
either.
fall on that
I mean,
sword.
and
I'll fall on that
Cam's,
sword for Cam Young.
And Cam's dad is a club pro at Sleepy Hollow on Long Island, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I feel like there you get that too there, but
you get some of these other guys, and you just with the rookies, and then you get some guys with experience, and Keegan's not going to play twice a day. You're right. He's going to have to, captain his way a little bit around this.
So are you sending Keegan out an alternate shot in the mornings? Because they're playing alternate shot in the mornings and they're playing better ball in the afternoon. When are you sending Keegan out? If you're Keegan.
I think I send Keegan out in the afternoon.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that. I think my thing with Keegan in the afternoon,
Keegan, especially with better ball, you could put Keegan maybe he plays with Harris English, or maybe he plays with Goddard or Russell Henley at that point in time, and you could go out and make birdie par, birdie par, birdie par, all the way around.
I'm going to throw a pairing out there that I think would be crazy. Keegan and Scotty.
Here's the one I want to see. Give me Bryson and Scotty against Rory, and because you're gonna Happy Gilmore to it,
right? Right. And
it won't happen because you're not.
It would be hilarious if Bryson walked up and said, "Those are my titties." Too easy.
And somebody handed Scotty some chicken tenders.
Right.
But yeah, you're not going to waste 4 big guns going out like that. You can't.
No. We found that out when they tried to pair when Hal Sutton tried to pair Tiger and Phil together. That was a travesty,
disaster.
Travesty, and I'm using travesty to highlight Travis. Another podcaster out there. Just want to say congratulations to a fellow podcaster on his engagement. Congratulations to Travis and Taylor.
Yeah. But the ref ruled his knee wasn't all the way down, so it didn't count.
Didn't count, no.
So it's going to be interesting. I think the three of us were fairly on the same page with everything. We're not going to be particularly upset or shocked if Goddard jumps from 20 into the top 12. Right, powered by the Mindset Golf Ball.
Right.
And I think the shocker, the shocker would be if Keegan doesn't pick himself right now. I think would be the ultimate shocker.
I'm going to say this. I don't think he should. The problem is if we're taking the 12 best guys into battle, he has to pick himself. Like there's no other option. Because at the end of the day, is he one of the 12 best guys we have and one of the 12 hottest guys we have? 100% he is. And at that point, I need to see him out there playing and representing our country.
Yes.
So I do think that that's going to be a bigger hill to climb on that. So let me ask you, I think you're right.
I think you're right. Keegan sends himself out first tee time, first shot, and he hits it and gets the crowd going from moment A, number 1.
Correct. I know we had talked earlier today. I'm going to ask. I know you were busy today, so I'm going to ask. Were you able to find any prop bets on odds?
No, that DraftKings did not have.
Okay. Any prop bets on Ryder Cup selections?
Any prop bets?
It was just a thought that I had. I just was like,
I'm gonna double check here and
okay. While you're checking, do you think there's any chance that European squad also changes, or I think it's pretty much locked in at this point?
I think it's pretty much locked in.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that. I think the Morikawa and Cantley guys, and here's my fear, is 2 years ago when Keegan got left off, and it was funny how a few people actually posted that that video today from Netflix of when Zach called Keegan and told him he wasn't on the team. And it turned into this good old boys network. I honestly think, and here's my fear with Morikawa and Cantley, I honestly think that if they both get picked, it's still a good old boys network.
Yeah.
And if they get picked and we lose, it's a good old boys network. Because we didn't take the 12 hottest players. And that's my personal opinion.
And and you're right that I missed a couple.
I think they need to see I think we need to see I think the one thing that scares me is my team does have 4 rookies on it.
But I don't have a problem with rookies because the desire and the will to win and bring it back, I think, is there. And, to be able to prove themselves, overall, that, hey, this was the right choice. And maybe, maybe they just, rookies are, these are all professional golfers at the end of the day. They go out and they play golf for a living. So being a rookie on the Ryder Cup really shouldn't matter.
I agree with you. I think the problem is there's so much pressure in the Ryder Cup that I think that there's with all the experience that Europe is bringing in, I think that scares me. And Dave, I just sent you an article. Did you get it yet?
Yep, I got it. Give me a sec.
Right. Let's can you scroll through that quick and we can talk about that? You want to do that?
Yeah, really go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. We're going to go to odds with Dave because we've got some odds on players making the Ryder Cup team. So, Dave, I just sent you an article, and I'd like to thank Golf Magic for putting this out there. Thank you.
I did. I saw something like this on CBS, but CBS didn't give the odds on there. They were just like in favor or not. But this is Golf Magic. Yeah, thank you. This is really good. So outside of the top 6, they're it's basically negative odds for Colin Morikawa and JT to make the team. They're taking them kind of as locks. For Morikawa and JT. Same as the odds are pretty even for Ben Griffith and Patrick Cantley to make the team.
Right.
Cam Young is, about one. Sam Burns is about 1.5. Cam is 4-7. Keegan is 4-5. Brian Harman narrowly ahead of Maverick at 4-1. Maverick at 5-1. Jordan Spieth probably, you could probably find a pitcher for the Colorado Rockies better than Jordan Spieth's chance of making the Ryder Cup, but he's been in 5 consecutive.
Pitching at home without pitcher for the Colorado's pitching at home without humor baseballs.
Yeah, but they still have him at 7-1. So over on the,
if he gets picked. And I love Jordan. I don't want to take anything away from him.
We're
going to get smoked.
Yep. Chris Gotterup is coming in at 6-1. Kurt Kitayama at 6-1. The rest of the field outside of that is 12-1. Somebody outside of that getting picked.
So
Brian Harman at 4-1, which none of the 3 of us picked there. No. So. Remember, brought to you by your Nikon rangefinder, the official rangefinder of the Golfing Dad's Tavern and the LPGA Tour.
So those odds to me are interesting. I don't necessarily agree with their odds, but I'm trying to look at numbers and where we're going to put all these guys.
I think that a lot of these are odds right here outside of Cantley. Morikawa, JT, Ben Griffith are in the top 10 right there as far as standings go. So those odds make sense. Cantley is an interesting one, but I think that plays to experience.
Right.
I think Keegan's odds are way off because nobody really knows how to how to bet that one for Keegan. Is he going to pick himself? Is he going to play the captain's role? I think Keegan is between a rock and a hard place either way. He picks himself and we lose, he's going to get in the hot water. He doesn't pick himself and we lose, then we get in hot. Like, why didn't you pick yourself? You were playing better than whoever you picked. I think the only way for Keegan to make this happen is to win, whether he picks himself or not. The only way to take everybody away from this is is to go out and win. And I think I said it last week too. I said Keegan would be a very on par equivalent to Arnie in Arnie's Army with, the following that Keegan has. And I really don't think.
I'm glad I missed that comment last week.
Yeah. Arnie's one of a kind, but he was the last playing captain. And I think
the only person everybody can call is Tiger. Tiger was a playing captain at the President's Cup.
Correct.
I think that captaining the President's Cup, though, and captaining the Ryder Cup are two different things.
Two different things. We watch the President's Cup, and it's just like, oh, yeah, how do we lose this? You don't.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. In the last President's Cup, I will say this. The Internationals gave us a scare. I do think the Internationals need to win a President's Cup or two to make it a better product.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the President's Cup is that the Internationals have won one and tied one, and they haven't won more, and I think that's been the bigger issue. So,
correct.
But we're not talking about the President's Cup. We're talking about the Ryder Cup, and here's where we're going.
Correct.
So, let's Are you ready? Are you ready for that time? That Smack of the Week time?
It's giving the people what they want.
It is. Here we go. Greg gave me crap last week that I had a non-golf related Smack of the Week, and we have had many non-golf related Smack of the Week.
Correct.
Here's a golf related Smack of the Week.
No way.
The head plant there is just my favorite.
Yes.
I mean,
Dave Rogers' School of Golf right there.
Yeah. Like, it was painful to watch. So I'm going to ask, would you have tried that shot?
Nope.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. Let's get into
last
call.
Out the other way and
yeah, no, exactly. Last call. There was some kind of major golf news that was announced today. So let's dive into that really quickly. So
here's the thing, that future set, 30, the Cobra technology. I'm really excited to get the three of us out there in a couple weeks, and especially with our Bridgestone Mindset golf balls. For me, it's the E12 straight on there, and just really see the comparative difference on how the three of us play that club.
You know what?
Because you and Greg swung it at.
You know what's
you
coming
swung
with
it
me?
at the show.
You know what's going to come with me? Our flight scope. So we can hook you up on the flight scope. By the way, if you're looking for a new flight scope, code the Golfing Dads for a discount, and that can be piggybacked with other discounts on flight scope site right now.
Yeah.
So, Dave, there was some big news that came out from Augusta today, as well as the RNA, regarding the Masters, automatic qualifiers into the Masters and
Correct.
into the Open Championship. And it's funny how, I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but major golf news always drops on Tuesday. Like, I don't know why that is, but that's what it does. So currently, they're giving 1-year exemptions to the winners of the Scottish Open, Chris Goddard up, who was already exempt because he made the Tour Championship. But that's
I dropped my towel tag golfing dads coaster.
The Spanish Open, the Japan Open, the Hong Kong Open, the Australian Open, and the South African Open for both the Masters and the Open Championship. Good for golf, bad for golf. How do you see this?
I know you and I talked this earlier, and I kind of went back and thought about it a little bit, and more people getting in is never a bad thing,
right?
You know, especially the Masters it's one of those where you know X number of players are going to be there as past champions, you know, and whether they have 200 people in the field or 72 people in the field, it's still going to be the Masters, and it's still going to be amazing. So I think getting more from an international perspective in there is going to help with TV ratings, especially in those countries, to get more people in, which is always a driving force. So more people playing better golf is never a bad thing.
I think this is really good for growing the professional game. I think if you can grow the professional game, I think it's a great idea. I think getting the Scottish Open, to me, being a co-sanctioned event on the PGA Tour, if you win it, I believe you are automatically exempt anyway into the Masters, so that really doesn't change anything because of its co-sanctioned on the PGA Tour. I'd have to check that, but it doesn't matter at this point now. I think that if you win any of the national opens, that should get you into something.
It should get you into something, correct?
Right. So I also wonder, and I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, as this new committee has come to fruition with the PGA Tour, are any of these events going to be co-sanctioned now, like the Australian Open? And are they going to want players to go and play in Australia and grow the game? And as they talk about growing the game, I still don't think professionals showing up and playing golf in a city grows the game there. I don't. I think it grows the tour's bottom line, whichever tour it is. But I really wonder are you going to see the tour go back to Australia and make that a co-sanctioned event? I could see them doing Japan very easily. I could also, I mean, they already have the Scottish. South Africa is a 50-50 one to me. But could I see some of these national opens becoming, I think that my fear is the tour decides to go in there and do some things in there. Does that take away spots from people in those countries for those events?
And the thing about some of that is you're going to have, how does it affect, like when you go to the Scottish and then the Open Championship, how many guys are coming back and playing, that next week right there? And the flights from Australia or Japan or, South Africa, getting back, you want to say you're going to send 5, say, hey, go over there and play. But then we're going to have a signature, because it's not beyond the PGA to schedule a signature event the following week, because that's what they do. And you're going to get those guys back on planes. Not everybody, travels, private jets on the tour, so you take somebody that's ranked 30 or 40th and they're trying to go and then come back. Yeah, it's a lifestyle and you go back and forth. But I think from a scheduling perspective and everything else, it's not the most ideal way to partnership with the PGA in taking spots away from other people.
So here's a hot take, and I'll throw this out there. If things break down the way things are starting to be rumored, you are going to have basically 3 tiers of the PGA Tour. You're going to have the Corn Ferry Tour. You will then have the PGA Tour. And then you will have the Signature Series or whatever they're going to call it. Okay?
Yeah.
So the Signature Series would probably be the top 50 players.
Mm-hmm.
And then there would be some trickling off of that and some, how do you go from here to there and there to there? And then you take guys off of the PGA Tour that are performing well, like 20 guys, and you add them in to make the 70 field. If you did that and you folded these events into co-sanctioned on the PGA Tour, but you had it as it was for full PGA Tour members only.
Right.
Right. Do you do something like that and you add these events in there? Because I think that there's a way you could do it where you limit who could go based on
Right.
It's just my thought process on that. So I think that
Hey,
there's
really quick, go down before we go back to that. Go bring up that last comment that's down there on the bottom there.
Oh,
Joe.
Sorry, I'm not on. I'm on the.
You're on the yeah.
So again, they've won one in a row. We won 4 years ago here at Whistling Straits.
Yeah.
I think Joe. I said, Joe, great comment by the way. How are you, buddy? I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. I think the thing that you really need to worry about is, I think the bigger thing you really need to worry about isn't Europe winning the last Ryder Cup. I think the bigger thing you have to worry about is Europe that's won the last Ryder Cup, and they're returning 11 of the 12 guys. Yeah. Oh, and the 12th guy, by the way, is the brother of a player that was on the team 2 years ago, who was there at the event rooting on his brother inside the ropes because he's a tour player. So I think that there's a bigger problem with the number of players that they're returning that are, I mean, you look at the list and they're major winners. They're FedEx Cup champions. They're that's the thing that scares me about the European team is they're loaded. And they're all playing some really good golf right now. So that scares me more. So, Joe, great question. Thank you for that one. But yeah, no, I think that I did you just get the same breaking news that I just got? Golf related?
No. From who?
ESPN?
Not yet. What'd you get?
Kapalua Resort, the Hawaii course where the PGA Tour has started every year since 1999, is shutting down for 2 months as it tries to save its water-starved course during a dispute over handling of a century-old water system on Maui. Interesting. We'll leave that there.
Yeah.
That'll be discussed at some point, I'm sure, in the future. So
yeah.
But that being said, I hope everybody tunes in tomorrow, 11 o'clock East Coast time, to see Keegan make his picks. He will be in Frisco, Texas, making his picks at the PGA headquarters. If we can get on tomorrow night, we will break down the captain's picks tomorrow night and keep you posted on that. And I hope everybody has a great week. Don't forget, tune in. I hate to promote somebody else, but tune into College Game Day this week. Coach Coso, we will miss you. You have been one of the reasons that people love college football. So congratulations on your retirement, and you will definitely be missed. See ya.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, having the opportunity to build something that's
And remember, folks, use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at Desert Fox Golf. Also use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at golfish.com. Use code GolfingDads to get 20% off your order at Jacket Sunscreen. And use the Golfing Dads Tavern to get 5% off your order at FlightScope.